First off is Nathan from WeAreChange. Do we have Nathan and Mark O'Connor, or are we just going to Nathan? Okay, Nathan, good to have you here. Before we get into what you've been doing with Gore and how exciting it is from the inside to be witnessing this, we want your take on that. What do you think about him canceling his much-vaunted speaking tour in Copenhagen?
I love it. It shows that we're making the impact that we always knew we would be. It's just great to see these people cowering, and just like he does on the film, and you see that time and time again through these WeAreChange confrontations.
Just like you always knew it would have an impact. That's right. You knew resistance was victory.
Yes, absolutely. And you see it, like I said, time and time again. He is a coward. He knows that he's wrong. He knows he's part of something wicked. And when you stand up against him, you see him shiver away like the little beast he is.
Well, they have their goons grab people every time. Yeah, even if you politely ask him questions, they do.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Well, I think it's important that you be focused. If you're up close, just speak in a regular voice. But if they start dragging you away, screaming out, Climate Gate, which is happening, this is just beautiful. Tell us about this little short clip we're going to play from Rhode Island.
Okay, it was actually in Boston outside the Wang Theater on March 30th, 2009, a day before the first time WeAreChange Chicago and Ohio confronted him. It was a speakers tour that was traveling through some major cities, New York, Boston, Chicago, maybe some others. I can't. And
I want to point out, again, it's WeAreChange that first went out and confronted Gore. Now the Tea Parties are mimicking it. That's how this spreads.
Yes. Yep, we had somebody on the inside. We didn't have tickets to the event, but we knew where the back door was. So Mark O'Connor and I, Mark from WeAreChange Boston, waited. We got the cue. We kind of, seemed harmless. We were there. We were handing out DVDs, doing a kind of regular WeAreChange street action, but not as obvious. And we waited, and we knew he was coming out the back door. I positioned myself amongst the crowd, the small crowd of people, because it was cold in Boston on that night, that wanted autographs, and managed to get myself right up to the front, tell Al Gore to his face, I had to play the part. You hear me in the beginning of the video be like, hey, brother, we know about your New World Order eugenics program. You will not succeed. Everything you talk about at the Club of Rome, Bilderberg, and the rest, your population control, Ted Turner's reduction of the population by 95%, none of this will go forward. I managed to call him a coward to his face. He doesn't respond. He hides. His security pushes us away, and he's escorted, by a police escort away.
We're going to go ahead and play the meat of this clip, and then be sure and plug your website, Nathan. WeAreChange, working with WeAreChange Boston, confronting Gore on the population reduction agenda. Here's that clip.
Mr. Gore, hey.
How you guys doing?
Hey, brother.
Step back.
Mr. Gore, we know about your New World Order eugenics program. Well, what do you think about that? Everything you guys discussed at the Club of Rome and Bilderberg, population control.
Thank you very much.
What do you think of Ted Turner's? Ted Turner's reduction of the population by 95%.
Sir, do you plan to reduce the Earth's population, Earth's human population by 95% like Ted Turner advocates? Do you plan to reduce the Earth's population of humans by 95% like Ted Turner advocates, sir? Can you please tell us?
You guys will not succeed.
Step back.
Oh, you step back. Hey, free humanity's waking up.
In fact, back that up. I want to read that quote from Al Gore from one of his disgusting books of propaganda that polar bears can't swim. Humanity is sitting on a time bomb. In the vast majority of the world's science are right. We have just 10 years to avert a major catastrophe that could send the entire planet's climate system into a tailspin of epic destruction involving extreme weather, floods, droughts, epidemics, and killer heat waves beyond anything we have ever experienced, a catastrophe of our own making. Al Gore, An Inconvenient Truth. And then when there's an earthquake or a flood or a fire, they say, look, it's happening. But it's always happening. Just the media points cameras at it and says it's the end of the world.
Yes. Yeah, and I would like to say I did a lot of reading before I made the decision to go get him. I mean, checking into the International Crisis Group, Brookings Institution, the IPCC documents going back to, I think it was founded by the UN in 1988. We really, Mark and I, we looked up a lot of stuff, and I encourage everyone listening right now to read. Reading will open your eyes to all of this. They're real plans. Right now I'm reading a book by Peter Singer, who is friends with Paul Ehrlich, John Holdren. You know, there are quotes in this book from them, praise on the back cover from Holdren and Ehrlich. And this is called One World. This is a man that openly supports euthanasia, abortion, infanticide, global government. This stuff is real. This is
we own over 100 books by these people where they brag they're drugging our water supply. I mean, these are hardcore people.
Yes. Yeah, they are not kidding around. And WeAreChange is here to stand up to them. And we're not going to stop.
Well, sir, I really appreciate what you've done. We have another clip of you guys confronting him that we're going to come back out of the break with, and we're going to let you go. But I really appreciate what you're doing and the great job that all of you were doing. And notice how it starts small with you guys 6 months ago and is now 200, 300 people out confronting him, bringing up ClimateGate. If you guys wouldn't have been doing this 6 months ago, it wouldn't have built to the crescendo now, so it's exploding just perfectly right on time in his face as he cancels his Copenhagen trip. Plug the WeAreChange website in Rhode Island or Boston for folks that want to join the team.
Go to WeAreChange.org. Rhode-IslandChange.org is the website, but we're changing the host right now, so it's down, unfortunately, at the moment. But it will be back up. And to everybody that's contacted me recently, I can't wait to meet all the new people that are joining up with WeAreChange Rhode Island.
Well done, my friend. We salute you. We'll be right back. We'll be right back with WeAreChange Nashville.
We know this global warming thing is a hoax. You want a carbon credit? Carbon taxes? That's a tax on life, sir. Respond, you coward.
Ladies and gentlemen, none of this would be happening now if just a few people hadn't started standing up. And I can tell you, we are responsible. Myself, Luke Radowski, and all these other men and women. You can start your own group. Whether it's WeAreChange, I think more the better. Create a WeAreChange, create another group. I push my audience, my listeners to join, to get involved. There's no forms, no organization. It's just a name, people that want truth, that want to defeat the New World Order. And it's impossible for the globalist to infiltrate groups like WeAreChange because there's nothing to infiltrate. There's Luke's website that has links to all the other groups. It's impossible to stop. They've tried to infiltrate chapters, and we've confirmed that, and tried to get people to do illegal stuff. It hasn't worked. They've tried to falsely charge WeAreChange. Women and men running out of dark doorways at events with a person in a wheelchair, ramming it into someone, and then putting it in the newspaper that WeAreChange assaulted a girl in a wheelchair. And later it came out, the New York Post had to print a retraction and say it was all a hoax because they went to court and proved it was a fraud. I mean, do you see what we're going through, what these great people are going through? And they've gone in, through, and beyond the tyranny. And Al Gore has now canceled his major events. I was telling you last hour he's going to start canceling events. He's now canceling. He'll only be able to do TV now because it's the only place it'll be one-sided. He's under siege with his fraud. Let's go to Matt from WeAreChange Nashville. We've got some video of their confronting Gore. And when they did it, it was all over the newspapers, all over radio, all over TV. Their quotes about his fraud, about his lies, about how he's making money off of it. Again, taking over the media coverage as our right as Americans, going to these events and telling the truth. And we've got Savannah, who's with WeAreChange as well, with Matt. Great job, guys. Good to have you here with us.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
What is it like for you to be involved in this and see it bearing such incredible fruit?
It's really inspiring. I mean, we set out that day. We didn't know what was going to happen, but we knew that we had to be there. We had to do something. So I mean, it worked out pretty good. Before it started, before Al Gore came out, we were passing out articles to people in line and just trying to talk to people. You know, most of them didn't want to hear it. Most of them didn't want the articles. But I mean, it doesn't matter. You know, we got to stand up.
Well, it ended up getting a lot of media coverage, and I want to play just a short clip, which is just a little bird's eye view, audio for radio listeners, video for PrisonPlanet.tv viewers. Of course, we post all these videos up at Infowars.com. Here it is.
Al Gore, you're a traitor. Your carbon tax is meant to enslave America. We know it.
We don't want your global governance.
We don't want your global governance. We don't want your carbon tax. You're a traitor.
Yeah, so Alex, I also went up to Gore. I bought a book myself, and asked him when he talked about global governance in a speech on July 7th. I asked him what he meant by that term, and one of his PR ladies just grabbed me and pushed me out of the way.
They're not allowed to ask. You're allowed to talk to him as long as it's worshiping him. But you can't ask about an internationally televised speech he gave because global government doesn't exist.
Yes, I mean, even if I paid $30 for a book so I could ask him this question, and I can't even, it's ridiculous.
Well, I want to point out that the protest outside made it in the paper and on TV, and the clips we're showing are just a tiny snapshot of all the things that are happening at these events.